For our last module, we're going to take a look at Google Sheets. And I wanted to start off by really looking at the connection between Google Forms and Google Sheets, because it really is a powerful integration of two tools. So we're back to our Math 101 quiz that we did the previous video. And what I wanted to show you is some of the data that we can look at. And I know we showed that under responses here, we can look at the different types of questions and the number of individuals that have got the questions right. So it gives you a nice little breakdown here of these different multiple choice questions. And so those are, and it's just really easy data to look at. So again, it's just under responses. I can look at stuff by questions and look at these responses here. I can look at individuals, so I can actually toggle through the different times that I've taken this test here, individuals have taken this test. I also want to point out a couple things over here on the right. Number one, I can print these responses here. I can also turn this form off from accepting responses. So if I have a response and I only want it to be turned on for a day, I can actually go ahead and toggle this on and off right here. You'll also notice these three little dots here, the stoplight here, and if I click on these, I can also get some different items actually to work with this form. So for example, I can get email notifications for any new responses that I get. I can select where these responses go. I can unlink, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. I can also download these responses. So if some of you use Excel or other types of spreadsheet programs, you can actually download a CSV file, or notice I can print all the responses. I can even delete all the responses here. Now I want to show you this item here. So this is View Responses in Sheet. So anytime you make a form, you have the ability to push these over into Sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And what you're going to notice is that actually brings in a whole new sheet here. And you see that I've had several individuals that have filled out this form here. And so I can look at this data a little bit differently. So again, I can look at under responses, or I can come here and look under Sheets here. And from here, when I get into Google Sheets, I can actually do all kinds of different things like formulas and averages and those types of things. So it's a very powerful way of looking at data from a different perspective. Just a couple of things you need to know. I can actually get back to my form from here. So let's say I open up the spreadsheet instead of the form. I can come in here and I can say go to live form right here, embed it in a web page and do different things. So taking and looking at data differently from this view, I simply come here to move from questions to responses. I come here, I click on this little icon right here, which is View in Sheets, and it's going to open up a copy of my Math 101 spreadsheet here. So super easy way of getting at data here. Now let me just show you a couple other forms that I've created here and what they look like once they're into the spreadsheet form. So this is one we did for the Region 5 Western Montana RSA. And so you notice here I've got some different lists. I've got all of the school districts. So just a typical form here, some grids and things like that. And if I come back into my responses here, there's 363 responses. And one of the nice things is that it does a nice job of kind of showing me these different, like the positions here, kind of breaks these things down. And remember that you get a different graph based on the type of question that you ask. And I think this is a multiple choice. Again, it's really nice to see these different colors, right? And so we use this as a way of trying to figure out what kind of professional development teachers are looking for. So again, it's a nice way to look at that data. Now, what's nice about this, again, because this is connected to a spreadsheet, I can bring this up, and now I see all of this data as a spreadsheet here. And so it becomes pretty powerful. If I want to take this data, then I can sort it out, I can parse it out, so I'm only looking for maybe principals, and I want to know what they've looked at. I want to do some different things. So using a spreadsheet, we can move that form data over into a spreadsheet that then allows us to do some different things with it. So super powerful way of looking at data. Again, that's the form to sheet connection that we have there with Google Sheets.